Want to be a topper in MBA entrance exams? Join BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and watch serial 99 percentilers teaching you the tips and tricks.
Good noon, all of you. How are you all? Hello, good noon. Hi, Subin. Hi, Shaina. Same to you. Yes, it's been raining heavily here since morning. Okay, and I'm happy because it's a relief from the hot weather. Hello, Vicky. Good noon. Hi, Shaina. Hello, Vijay. Good afternoon. I welcome you to this session of MAH CET Crash Course 2022. Today, we'll focus on fill in the blanks. However, my effort has been to focus on grammar-based fill in the blanks also today, right? So far in our fill in the blank sessions, we have focused on vocabulary-based FIBs. Of course, today also we do have vocabulary-based FIBs, but there's an equal focus on grammar as well, right? Good noon, good noon. I am also good. Thank you, Vijay. Hi, Shivam. Hello, Mamta. Hi, Tanvi. Hello, Ali. Hi, sweetie. All right. So let's begin with our session today. So we have, of course, again, the structure is that you have a lot of fill in the blank questions, right? And in the beginning, there are certain grammar-based FIVs that we'll do. So here's your first question. Have a look. Tell me what the answer should be. Easy question. Good noon, Sakshi, Anuja, Sanil, Rutuja. Good noon. Hi, Yash. Good noon. Hello, Pranit. Hi, Shashank. Hi, Rahul. Good noon. Okay, so Rutuja says A, Yogiraj says A again, Sanil says B. Okay, Anuja says A. Okay, Krishna B, Ash, Mamta A, Gorak also says A, Shivam B, Rutuja B. So basically A versus B, yes, that is the confusion here. So if you read the whole sentence, see in such questions, please read the whole sentence and not just what you have to fill, right? Not just the options. So here, let's look at the structure of this sentence. Dash made after English settlers came to Jamestown was a map of Virginia by John Smith, the famous adventurer. So whatever was made was a map of Virginia. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if you say it was the first map, if you already state was here, it was the first map made after English settler came to Jamestown, was a map of Virginia. Why these two was? What's the rationale behind putting these two was? So no, the phrase that should come here is the first map made after English settlers came to town was a map. So the first map made after was a map. So here this is the verb and the subject of this verb is the first map. Okay, this is the subject of the verb. Right, and this is the description of this map. Okay, that when was it made? Made after English settlers came to Jamestown. So this is description. This is an adjective phrase. Okay, all right. I hope this makes sense. B is the answer. All right, perfect. Okay, so if anything is not clear, then you can always tell me. Otherwise, I'll assume that things are clear and I will proceed. Okay, so this is your next question. The concert this weekend promises to attract dash than attended the last one. Sorry, the last one should be here only. Okay. Yes. So these are your four options. Tell me what the answer should be. All right. So this is from a non-CAT previous year paper. This question. Let me see what you say here. Interesting question. A, D, C. All right. Okay. So I'm getting quite a few A's. All right. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The concert this weekend promises to attract dash Dan. So first of all, the moment a Dan comes, that means a comparison should happen. Okay. Now, in our question also, we have been given these comparative these comparative adjectives, right? So that is not a problem. Okay. However, we're talking about people, isn't it? Is people a countable noun or an uncountable noun? Yes. Countable or uncountable? People. You can count people, right? One person, two persons or people, right? So you can count them. So here, can I use amount with people then? Amount. Amount is used with uncountable nouns. Amount is a noun that is used to describe, to basically talk about, not describe, to talk further about uncountable nouns. Right? So amount of water, amount of petrol, amount cannot be used with people. So B can be outrightly rejected. Okay? B can be outrightly rejected. Okay. Now, a number of people even larger or an even greater number of people. Tell me. A number of people even larger. So are these people larger? A number of people, is the number great or large, or are these people large? The number is great or large, right? Not the people. So when you write a number of people even larger than, that gives the impression that these people are large, right? Which is incorrect. Again, A is eliminated. Okay, so usually, yes, students narrow down to A and D only. However, A is incorrect here. Why? Because the people are not larger, and even greater number. Now see, greater is here modifying number. The adjective is describing the correct noun here. The number is greater, right? So D, Delhi is our answer. C says a group of people even greater. So here, a group greater than the other. Can I say that when I'm talking about the quantity? I should say number, right? Not group, right? Group is not a measure of quantity in any way. So an even greater number of people, not a group of people, even greater. Again, it gives the impression as if the group is greater, right? I hope this makes sense. All right. D is the answer. Yes, yes, absolutely. Okay, okay. All right. So can we move to the next question? I hope these two are crystal clear. Then only we'll move to grammar-based FIVs. Let us come to common confusables, right? Words that can be easily confused, right? So in fact, we are shortly we are going to come up with a short series of common confusables, wherein I'll talk to you about some words that can be confused with each other, but what are their meanings? How do we use them in a sentence, right? So here you do have some common confusables, complement, complement. Sometimes students are not able to understand the difference between complement and supplement, right? Complementary, what does this mean? What does this complementary mean? Let's understand all of that through this question. Yes. Question 3. Vicky says B. All right. Others, what do you say? Sanil says B. Okay. Mamta B. All right. Okay. So getting a lot of B's. Rutuja said D, I think. Okay. Is it the herd mentality that if one person gives one option, the others also mostly start giving that option only? Yes, it's called the herd mentality and also the bandwagon effect. So D, all right. Now I'm getting some D's. Okay. See this. When we say, this does not complement your behavior, this behavior does not complement you as a person. So basically, it does not suit you. When we here, what this person is trying to say is that this does not suit your position, isn't it? Supplement is supplements, vitamin supplements, right? Supplements add, they are extra, right? They add to something. So I'm not trying to say that the behavior does not add to your position. No, that's not the idea. So how come B can be the answer? B is not the answer here. Okay. I am trying to say that it does not suit your position. Okay. It does not look good with your position. Right. So here, this complement or this complement. Yes. When your boss tells you that your behavior does not complement your position, it is certainly not a compliment. It is certainly not an act of praise, right? It is not a praiseworthy comment. It is not a comment of praise. So now it becomes very easy. I need this I complement in the second blank, right? So the first one has to be this complement. Okay, this complement. This complement means, see, what do complementary angles do? They complete each other. Yes, in mathematics, you have complementary angles. They complete each other, right? They, in a way, fit with each other. They fit with each other. That's the idea. So, does not fit your position. Okay, does not, in a way, suit with your position. That's what I want to say. And that's why D, Delhi is the answer here. I hope this makes sense. Right. Now, coming to this complementary. Okay. So now when you get some complimentary goods, let's say you go to a hotel or you take a flight and they give you some complimentary goodies. Yes. So which complimentary should we use here? Which complimentary should we use here? Yes. First or the second one? That's how you can answer. This is something that I used to be confused about for a long time. Okay, that when we get complimentary goodies, what should really be the spelling of that complimentary? I mean, what should really be the, yes, the correct spelling of that complimentary? Yes, it should be first or second. Now you are saying the second one, the second one. I also used to think that it should be the second one, right? Because in a way, it is something that is trying to, combine with combine with the experience that I have paid for, right? It is kind of adding to it. However, it is the first complimentary. When you get something for free of charge, it is the first complimentary, not the second complimentary. Okay, remember this. So this is one of the meanings of complimentary. So one is that something that is related to a praise, okay, something that is related to a compliment, okay, an act of praising, and something that is given free of charge is also complimentary. The first one only, not the second one. The second complimentary, what does that mean? If I say that, the two business partners have different skills, but their skills are complementary. In a way, they complete each other. Yes? So that is the meaning of the second complement. Something that, in a way adds, enhances, not adds, enhances and emphasizes the qualities of each other. When you do that, that is the second complementary. Right? Hope this is clear. If it's not, please ask. Why not C? Okay. All right. We'll discuss this. So this bit is clear to us. Complementary, completing. The first complementary is either related to praise or free of charge, right? Okay. Then why not C? Why can C not be the answer? It is certainly not a supplement. It is certain supplement means to add to something, right? Something that's extra, secondary, and additional. So it is certainly not a supplement. No, your boss is telling you something. So it could be some sort of a criticism. It could be some sort of a compliment. It could be some information that he or she is supplying. But it is not a supplement. Does not fit here, right? Compliment, criticism, comment, information. Okay, those could be the nature of someone telling you something, but not a supplement. Okay, we could say supplementary information, but again, we'll then use supplement as an adjective there. Supplementary. This does not fit. Okay. Complementary goods in economics. Absolutely correct, Sanil. So, complementary goods, when we talk about them, like car and petrol, correctly stated. So, they are different. They are very different goods, but they, in a way, complete each other, right? You can't drive a car without petrol in it, right? And what would you do with petrol? Okay, apart from, let's say, destructive activities. In case, if you are, let's say, a normal human being, you're not making industrial uses of petrol, all that is there. So, petrol without car is also not of much use for a normal human being who wants to commute, right? Then difference between C and S use in various verb. Can you make a session? Difference between C and S. I didn't, Nandraj, can you give me some examples that will clarify it for me? Okay. So, appraisal, Gaurav, what do you mean by that? You'll have to clarify. I hope this is clear to you, this question. All these words that are mentioned in it. If you've been enjoying the session, you know what you have to do, whatever our team is telling you to. All right, let's have a look at another question, a common confusable question. This is not, again, if you know the meanings of pedagogue and demagogue, then it is going to help you to eliminate quite a few options here. Yes. Thank you, Shaina. Advice, okay. We don't need a whole session on it. There aren't a lot of words that have the CE difference, right? So yes, practice. So advice, the CE ones are nouns, the SE ones are adjectives. Sorry, verbs. Okay. So you give a piece of advice. When I say that, she gave me a piece of advice. So a piece of what? I need a noun here. So I cannot use this. This would be wrong here. I have to use this. This advice is a noun. Okay. On the other hand, if I said she dash me, she advised me, okay, or she advises me, let's say on a regular basis, so then the spelling will be SES or she advised me, right? Practice, same thing. Okay, dash makes a person perfect. Dash makes a person perfect. Tell me what? I'm looking for a noun here. So again, when I'm looking for a noun, I need CE. Practice makes a person perfect. Right. Now, a question for you. Something to think about. Okay, what should I write? Practice or practice what you preach? In American English, they don't bother a lot about CE and SE. Okay. So in American English, for the noun also and for the verb also, they tend to use CE. All right. So E, all right. Just a second. Rutuja has said, sorry, some of you have given me the answers. E, D, that's what I've got. All right. Okay. Supplementary goods. No, they are substitutes, Yogi Raj. They are substitutes. Tea and coffee, they are substitutes of each other. Right? Supplementary goods would mean some additional goods. Some goods that are not primary, let's say, to if you're a producer, they are not primary to your production process, okay, but they are supplementary materials, they are additional, right? Then that is supplementary. Supplementary means extra. All right, C, E, D. Quite a few options I've got. First, A. All right. As a first, okay. What about others? What about others? B, E, C. That's what I've got. We'll discuss practice and practice also. Tell me the answer for this one as well. Okay. So I've got two answers for practice and practice also. Nandaraj and Rutuja say CE. All right. We are doing two questions simultaneously, exercising our brain a little more today. T-A-R-Y, Shubh. T-A-R-Y. Okay, D, E, B, C, A also I've got. All right. So pretty much everything. Okay. Uh, let's see these two first because here they've been repeated in various options. Agojos plus, now this is something that's there in word par, right? Paid plus agojos. These are the two roots that have been used here. Paid means yes, supplementary sheet. Correct, Sanil, absolutely. Supplementary sheet. Paid means a child. Yes, pediatrician. Paid means a child. Pedophile. Agojos means to lead. Agojos means to lead. So, someone who leads children. Yes, someone who leads children. Sounds like a very positive word, isn't it? Pedagogue. But pedagogy, yes, pedagogy means the teaching methodology. What you are saying is pedagogy. That means the teaching methodology. The way we teach a child, a student. Okay. Now, pedagogue should be a teacher, but, and it looks like a positive word, but it is not. A pedagogue is a very strict and authoritative teacher. Okay. Someone who wants unquestioning acceptance from you. That sort of a teacher is a pedagogue. So it's actually a word that carries a negative connotation, right? A very strict teacher, authoritative teacher who demands unquestioning acceptance is a pedagogue, right? Now, this person, we are talking about a party chief, right, who is clearly a dash, whose speeches never make cogent arguments. So, this person is unlikely to be a teacher, right? Unlikely. That helps us eliminate three options right away. A, C, and E eliminated right away. So, you see the power of word power. Yes, you can see this that if you know the meaning of this one, you are able to eliminate three options right away. Demagogue. Who is a demagogue? Demos. Okay, means people. Agojos again means to lead. This also has agojos, which again means to lead. Someone who leads people. Again, such a positive word, no? Demagogue sounds like such a positive word. Pedantic, yes, Yogiraj, pedantic is a synonym for pedagogue, a pedantic teacher. A pedantic teacher, someone who is concerned with, finding your minor faults, small little faults, right? That is pedantic. Demos actually means people, not government. Democracy means a government of the people, for the people, by the people, right? So demos there means people, and cracy, that crack means to rule, to govern. A political leader is a demagogue. Correct. A rabble rouser. Very good. So this again is a negative word. Although it should be a positive word, demagogue, leading people. So it is not used for good politicians though. It is used for those politicians who just, try to rile up your emotions. They don't make very cogent arguments, as I've written here. They don't make very logical arguments. They just, exploit your emotions, right? And seek votes on that basis. Such politicians are called demagogues, right? So yes, this person is likely to be a demagogue whose speeches never make cogent arguments, just based on riling up people's emotions. Rabble rouser is a synonym. Now, pedagogue wasn't clear to you. Pedagogue means a teacher who is strict, who is authoritative, who demands unquestioning acceptance. Okay, and who is pedantic also, finds faults about minor details. That sort of a teacher is a pedagogue, right? All right. So now comes B and D. Which one fits better? Genuflecting to the chief, okay, or venerating to the chief? Venerating to the chief. Firebrand, yes, yes, Shubh. So, see, venerate someone. Venerating does not require to. And venerate simply means to respect. It does not have a negative connotation. It's a neutral word. When you venerate someone, you just respect them. Okay. You revere them. You hold them in high esteem, right? Genuflect to someone, grovel to someone. These two words, they mean that you are, extremely obsequious in their presence. You are extremely obsequious towards them. That means are excessively compliant, servile. Okay, you are very sycophantic in front of them, right? Because probably you have something to gain. So that is, grovel actually literally means to bow and bend. Same for genuflect. It literally means to bow and bend. So when you don't do it literally, let's say, but metaphorically, that is what here the party members are doing, right? Genuflecting or groveling to the chief, right? So venerating is not followed by to, plus it's a neutral word, so eliminate, right? We've eliminated all the other options. Fawning, we fawn on someone. We fawn on someone. Fawn on also has the same meaning, okay, as groveling and genuflecting. Again, when you fawn on someone, you praise them, you flatter them, you are extremely servile before them. That's what you do. So I think all these words are clear to you. Quite a few words in one question. Demagogue, pedagogue, grovel, genuflect, venerate, fawn. Right? Okay. Let me see if there are any new comments. We had a word for the person who pays attention to minute details. Yes, yes, pedantic. Pedantic is the word. Acha, fastidious. Fastidious is a person, again, who likes to pay attention to very minute details also. Punctilious is another word that we did, which means the same. Punctilious, right? And pedantic is usually concerned with knowledge. Pedantic is usually concerned with knowledge. So people, who, let's say, for instance, I am a grammar teacher. So of course, my grammar is likely to be better than someone who does not teach grammar, right? It's a likelihood. I'm not saying it's certain. So if, let's say, I keep on correcting their mistakes on every post of theirs, I am being pedantic, right? So when you try to show off your knowledge by finding little mistakes of others, that is when you're being pedantic. So it's primarily associated with knowledge. Whereas these could be about anything. For instance, let's say my mother is a very punctilious person in the sense that she likes everything in the house to be perfect, okay, spot clean, perfect, in its correct place. So that is punctilious behavior, paying attention to even the minor details, right? Grovel, again, to bow and bend, okay, to bow and bend, to be extremely obsequious towards someone. All right, all right. Now that's okay, Kashish, good afternoon. What demagogue is again? Yes, yes, yes. Demagogue. Demagogue. I think you will find a number of examples of demagogues in our current politics, right? Demagogues are such politicians who do not, let's say, want to appeal to people based on logical arguments, based on policies, based on what they are going to do in the future. But the kind of politicians who just try to exploit the emotions of people, who just try to rouse the emotions of people. Such politicians are called demagogues, right? So that is why I said rabble rouser is a synonym. Rabble rouser means somebody who tries to arouse your emotions, okay, tries to provoke you about something and then seeks votes, right? I hope this is clear. Okay. Bohemian, yes, bohemian means that you are unorthodox, unconventional, okay. Allegiance is when you acha, are you saying that for these party members, can we say these party members show allegiance to the party chief? Yes, they show allegiance. Allegiance is when you believe in a cause and you support that cause. That's when you show allegiance to that cause. You're associated with that cause. However, allegiance is not a negative word. If, let's say, I show allegiance to a party, I don't need to grovel to the leader. I don't need to genuflect to the leader, right? So allegiance is a neutral term, whereas grovel, genuflect, fawn, they are negative terms, right? Okay. If instead of pedagogue, the option had demagogue in A, then A would be correct. Yes, then A would be perfect. Correct. And then which option to choose? Then I would not give. Why would I give you such options where two options are correct? Okay, even the examiner won't give you two correct options, right? Meticulous, yes, it's a synonym of punctilious. Yes, punctilious, however, emphasizes this quality of minor details. Okay, meticulous is a synonym. When you open the dictionary, you will find it in the synonyms. All right, right. Okay. Absolutely, absolutely correct, all of you. Now that this is crystal clear, we can proceed to the next question. This is a two blank question, okay? No common confusables here, so you can relax, right? Tell me what the answer should be. My inward petition was instantly dash. First, a delightful cold wave descended over my back and under my feet, dash all discomfort. So, Rohit, on the BYJU'S Exam Prep MBA channel, you don't even need to worry about this. There are playlists. So, click on the playlist tab and go for the MAH CET playlist. I think for MAH CET VARC also there should be a separate playlist. So, there you will find all the grammar sessions, vocabulary, RC passages, critical reasoning, you name it, you'll find it. Okay. So I've got D from two of you, A from one of you, D again, all right. Let's see, let's see. Okay, so A, E, A or E, all right, all right. D also. Basically A, D and E. Yes. Can I delete discomfort? Can you delete discomfort from your life? Not a philosophical question, just a grammatical and vocabulary question. Can I use the word delete for discomfort? When you delete someone, basically either you strike it off or let's say you press backspace. So either on your computer or by striking something off, you delete something, you erase something, right? We cannot use deleting for discomfort. When let's say a feeling goes away, we don't say, okay, so for instance, you can't delete love, so to say. You can't delete emotions that way, right? So this is incorrect. Infuriating, negative word. Whereas this person is experiencing a delightful cold wave. Yes. So will it infuriate his or her discomfort? Infuriate is to make angry. Okay. So when someone is infuriated, they are angry. To make someone angry. Exacerbate, again negative word. To worsen something, to worsen a particular condition. So if I say this particular medicine has exacerbated my pain instead of alleviating it, that means it has worsened my pain. Okay. Now, banishing, assuaging. Okay. My petition was decimated or my petition was acknowledged. To decimate someone or something, when we decimate something, we completely destroy it. We obliterate it. Okay. To decimate is to obliterate, destroy, exterminate. Remember, extirpate. These are all synonyms. Okay. So not even its decimal remains. That's the idea. Okay. Not even its decimal remains when I say decimate. So even this cannot be the answer. The petition was acknowledged. So this person was praying to God, please relieve my discomfort. His or her inward petition was instantly acknowledged, and a delightful cold wave ascended over his back and under his feet, banishing all discomfort. Okay, banish is to exile, basically, to again remove all discomfort here. Right? Okay. Hope this is clear. Absolutely correct. Yogiraj, Shubh, correct answers. So A is our answer. Good. Those students who marked A here, because I got very diverse responses to this question. So good. Those who said A, quite a few of you did. So this was not a difficult question, the previous one, right? Common confusables did require some thinking. The grammar questions were also not very difficult in case you thought a little, let's say, before just jumping to the answer. So in grammar questions, I always tell you the strategy should be to read your options and your sentences carefully with this lens of finding faults. Okay, you become pedantic. Okay, there you find faults, right? Okay, so I hope you've been enjoying the session. If yes, you know what to do. Please go and press the like button. Comment in case you want something else to be added. Do share it with your friends who are preparing for MAH CET or even other entrance exams. It will help you. It will help them. And it will help you also perhaps because of the act of kindness. And yes, I hope you've subscribed to the channel. Okay. Another one. Banish. Banishing all the discomfort. Banishing means removing it, in a way, exiling it, right? All right. So don't worry, Aishwarya, we have a number of grammar sessions planned, a number of vocabulary sessions also planned for you. We are in mid-July right now. Your sessions will happen till before MAHCET. You need not worry, right? So it's not all about vocabulary. You do get at least 10 questions from grammar you're going to get. So don't think that it is all about vocabulary. Honestly, in a balanced paper, I think that there should be at least 12 grammar questions in a balanced paper. Of course, that's not always the case, right? So para summary, all right. Para summary is not a very difficult topic. In case, let's say, you have prepared for CAT also, or if you've seen CAT level para summary questions, you will find that MAHCET para summary is pretty easy. Okay, so still okay. I'll ask our team if we can have a session exclusively on para summary, or we can keep a session on logic in general, wherein I can discuss odd sentence or para jumbles also, right? Okay, so let's attempt this one. I've got some responses. Unanimous response. Yes. Uh, except one of you who says B. Bharat is saying B. It is C only. Others don't fit at all. So here, in this question, students get confused. Why? Because they think that this is such an easy option. How can this be the answer? So they keep getting confused with the other options. But actually, none of the other fits. When you're talking about an organization's dash, it cannot be an organization's blunder. Faux pas. Yes? Faux pas. I hope you know this French term. False. Pas means step. False step. Basically, a social blunder usually is called a faux pas. Those who are passionate about MAHCET, not MAHCET, sorry, it's MAHCET that's always on my mind. Those who are passionate about fashion would know this term already. It's used a lot in the fashion industry. Fashion faux pas, right? So fashion faux pas means when someone, let's say a celebrity, goes to the Met Gala wearing a dress that no one likes. So they call it a fashion faux pas, right? Okay. So despair, organizations despair? No. Organizations showing such strong emotions. Organizations conformity. What does this conformity mean? When you conform to, what do you conform to? The societal norms. Okay. So to conform is basically to abide by, to follow. To abide by, to follow. to do what the others are doing, right? Usually it's used for societal norms, it's used for let's say again society related चीजों के लिए use होता है conformity, or let's say if your organization has some rules, then it expects conformity to those rules, right? So does not fit, and there is no such word as conformity, no such word. This is incorrect. Okay, now common confusables here, right? Conform and conform. If I say that, okay, I'll confirm this, okay, I'll confirm this, that means I'll ascertain this, I'll make sure, I'll make this sure and then tell you, right? So that is the meaning of conform, whereas conform is to abide by, to follow. Hope this is clear. Okay, okay, all right, all right. Now so this is incorrect. Eccentricity, what does eccentricity mean? We should anyway know the meanings of the words. Eccentricity, peculiar behavior of a person, right? So some peculiar there are, all of us have some eccentricities, some things that are very peculiar to us and only us, right? So idiosyncrasy is a synonym. Idiosyncrasy, right? This is a CRASY, idiosyncrasy. So for instance, I don't know, I read somewhere that Steve Jobs didn't wear footwear, something of that sort. So that's an eccentric thing, right? It's an idiosyncratic thing. Okay, not wearing footwear, even in office. Oddity is a synonym. Oddity is a synonym. Okay. So eccentricity, oddity, their personal oddity will determine their organization's conformity. That means everybody in the organization will start becoming, will start displaying this odd behavior. Not at all. Predilection, yes. Predilection, in if I break it, predilection, right? Pre, before. So predilection are things that you are, inclined towards. Your usually some negative things that you like to do. Okay, that you're inclined towards. Those are your predilections, right? So for instance, if I talk about smoking, for example, so people who smoke, they like smoking a lot. So they have a special liking towards it. So that's their predilection, right? So that's the meaning. It's used generally for negative things, favor towards something, bias towards something, and usually negative. Okay, okay. Now, just a second. Can you explain eccentricity? Yes, eccentricity is someone's odd, peculiar behavior that other people find strange, right? For example, if let's say we are working in an office and I keep on humming a song while I work, and this is my habit, you will find me a bit eccentric, right? If let's say I sleep in office hours, okay, I do that, whereas nobody else in the office is doing that, right? If everybody is doing it, then it's no longer an eccentricity. So then you would find me a little eccentric. So people who are whimsical, who just listen to themselves, right, who are whimsical, they tend to display this idiosyncratic eccentric behavior, right? Okay, all right. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same T-shirt. Yes, yes, yes. That's his eccentric behavior, right? Okay. Conformity is a word. Yes, CONFORMITY. That is a word. That is a word, Vicky. All right. Now, coming to yes, something that's weird, something that's strange. Yes, you'll not use it for good qualities. Okay, don't use it for someone's good qualities. Right. Um, I hope this is clear. When you have a special fondness for something, a predisposition towards something, and inclination towards something, that is a predilection. So that will determine their organization's despair. Basically, the other options don't make sense together at all, right? Their good fortune, serendipity is a fortunate stroke of luck, a stroke of luck. So their serendipity, their fortunate accident, stroke of luck will determine their organization's social blunders. Nothing fits. It's their vigor that is going to determine their organization's success. All right. So our answer is C. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now Kashish is asking, Yes, yes, that is the case. All right. So now we have a grammar cloze test. Grammar cloze test. Um, so far we've seen vocabulary cloze test, right? So this one is a little different. Here you have to look at what is grammatical and then fill in the blanks. So read this once, read this paragraph, then I'll go to the question. Yes. Yes, Kashish, that's what he says. That's why he wears the same grey t-shirt. Yes, and it is an example of his eccentricity. Yeah. All right. Let's see what you say. Correct, Sonali. Read the paragraph. No, no. Okay, once you've read it, now yes. Now this is your first question. This is your first question. Fortunate is the person who has reached the age of 50 without dash to grieve. Yes. Let's see what you say. All right. So Vicky has answered the past test. Yash, okay, has also answered. No, Yash has not answered. Anushka has answered. Anushka, Kashish, Sonali, they say C. All right. All right. Okay. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. None of the other options fits actually. Yes, none of the other options make sense. So C is our answer, having had to grieve. Okay. Without have had, no. Without have, there we don't have any such sentences where we repeat have twice. Okay. This is an absolutely incorrect construction. Okay. Had is not suitable in this context because here I need an ing word. Okay. I need a gerund here. Okay. And I do not need simply verbs here. So that's why this becomes incorrect. Otherwise, yes, had is an expression. It's not incorrect in the way B is incorrect. Right. And no, none of the above. No, this cannot be the answer because C is the answer. Right. Any queries in this? Anything that you wish to ask? Oh, I didn't copy the paragraph for two. All right. Just a second. I don't know. I did it. I think it didn't get saved. All right. So your second, let's look at the second sentence. Let's look at the bereaved. Bereaved people who are mourned for. Okay. People whom you mourn. Okay. People. Sorry. To be among the grieving, the bereaved. People who mourn. People who mourn. I'm so sorry. People who mourn the loss of someone. Okay. Bereavement is basically mourning. Bereavement is mourning. So bereaved are people who mourn. Bereavement. Yes. Bereavement is mourning. I hope. Yes. I've written this correctly. Right. So bereaved are the mourners. People who have suffered the loss of someone. Where can we use had, right? Okay. So Kashish, it depends that then it would have different subjects. We can obviously repeat had 4 times, 5 times, any times you want, but it would have different subjects then. Okay. Had, yes. Yes, I'll explain this. I was expecting this question. That's why I asked you if you have any queries. I'll explain had. Okay. So now tell me, for this question, before moving to this question, let's discuss had once, right? So if I tell you that let's begin with the present tense. I have finished my lunch. I have finished my lunch. Okay. Now the verb have actually has multiple meanings. It has multiple meanings. One is simply as a helping verb. For instance, here it's a helping verb, helping our main verb finished. Right? However, it has other meanings also. One is to eat. One is to experience. One is to possess. So to give you some examples, I have a sandwich every day. So I eat a sandwich every day. I am having a good time here. I am having a good time. I have a car. So I possess a car. So eat, experience, possess, these are also the meanings of the verb have, and in this capacity it is a main verb. It is not an auxiliary verb here. When I say I have a car, there is no other verb here in the sentence. I am having a good time. No other verb, main verb. I have a sandwich every day. No other verb. Right? So, my question is that if I want to write I have eaten my lunch, instead of saying eaten, I can also use a form of have. I can also use the third form of have. So what is the third form of the verb have? The third form is had. Have. The second form, which is the past simple, is had. The third form, which is the past participle, is also had. So instead of saying eaten, I can say I have had my lunch. I have had my lunch. This is present perfect. This is what we call present perfect tense. I have eaten my lunch. I have had my lunch. Now, when do I use had? Let's say we are talking about something that happened in the past. So, two things that happened in the past. So, let's say you ate your lunch and then your mom arrived. Okay. Now, you want to say that by the time she arrived, you had already eaten your lunch. So, I had eaten my lunch. I had eaten my lunch when or by the time mom arrived. Right? So this is the second action, this is the first action, because it is a sequential action. With the first one we'll use the past perfect. Perfect means using had as the helping verb. Now my question is, instead of eaten, can you again not use the third form of have, just like we used it in I have had my lunch? I can now say I had had my lunch by the time mom arrived. I had had my lunch by the time mom arrived. So this is past perfect. This is past perfect. All right. I hope you're still there with me. Okay. Now, let's look at, see, I can see queries one by one only, right? So please be a little patient. I had had my breakfast in the morning. I had had my breakfast when my friend came. I had had my breakfast when my friend came. Okay. I don't need in the morning actually. I am giving a time reference using when my friend came. Had eaten. Had eaten, Gaurav, not had ate. Had ate is incorrect. Eaten, the third form is used with the perfect tense. Okay. All right. Now, some of you are asking the meaning of good grief. Actually, yes, this the article that I have taken it from, that also in its title, I think, had good grief. When do we use this phrase, good grief? Yes. When do we use this phrase? When I am surprised about something. That's when I say good grief. It's you. I was scared. Okay, you scared me. So that is, it's an expression of surprise, good grief, right? So I think this article was titled When is Grief Good? Something of that sort, right? So I hope this is clear to everybody now. And we can move to the next question. So our next sentence is, to be among the grieving, the bereaved, is an experience most of us go through. Dash only those who die preternaturally. We did it yesterday. Dash only those who die preternaturally young and are themselves the cause of bereavement and are themselves the cause of mourning. Right? So, what I'm trying to say is that to be among the grieving is an experience most of us go through. Dash only those who die preternaturally young. So, then they are themselves the cause of bereavement, of mourning. So, what fits here? No, Gaurav, no comma. Yes, Yogi Raj, I will take an example. Attempt this question once and I'll use that use another example also. Okay, two. Beside. C is incorrect. Come on. Beside means next to. Beside means next to. So that is incorrect. A, okay. All right. The answer here is actually E. Both A and B are fine. Except is also correct. Accepting is also correct. Accepting is just another way of writing accept. Accepting means accept for only. Okay, it's just a formal way, right? So this is just something that I wanted to tell you. This is both vocabulary and grammar gyan, right? Accept is the correct preposition and accepting is also used in the place of accept. So both A and B. Now, someone asked me, can I use some other example instead of eating? So let's take the example of possess. Have in the sense of possess. So have is a verb, right? Now, if I want to tell you, I have owned or possessed this car, I have dashed this car, I have owned this car, let's say, since 1990. Okay, itni purani hai. This is such an old car. So I've owned this since that time. Okay, since then it has been in my possession. So instead of saying I have owned this car, I can say I have had this car. So have had is clear. I have had this car since 1990. Okay. Now past perfect. Let's use had. So let's say you possess this car for a particular period of time. Okay. Until let's say a buyer came and offered you a great price for it. Okay. So, or when a buyer came and offered you a great price for it. So I had ambassador, let's say the car was ambassador since 1990, or let's say for 10 years. I hope you know the difference between since and for. When a buyer offered me, when a buyer offered me a great sum for it. When a buyer offered me a great sum for it. So now see, the first action was of course possessing it. The first action was of course to possess it or to own it, possessed or owned the car. So you are saying that, I had actually had it. I had owned it since 1990. I had owned it for 10 years when a buyer offered me a great sum for it. Right? It had been 10 years when this happened. I hope this is clear. I had had an ambassador. I had had an ambassador since 1960. Okay. Since 1990 when a buyer offered me a great sum for it. I hope this is clear. Yes, Shivam. If both A and B are given, then yes, you will result in losing a mark. Right? Eating your car. I have had this car since. No, basically, okay, wait. I said this when somebody was saying I have had a car in 2012. I think that was the sentence. That was the sentence. Okay, so I told you that because a time point is mentioned here. A time point is mentioned here. You cannot use the perfect tense. Okay. So basically, you can simply, if you want to convey the past tense, you can simply say, I had a car in 2012. Back then, I had a car. Now I don't. Right. If you say, I have had a car, I have had a car, that becomes erroneous and that is open to multiple interpretations. So, in that context, I might have said this. Otherwise, it's perfectly correct to say, I have a car. If let's say I say I have a car, then also somebody can think I'm talking about eating. But no, the sense is very clear. I possess or own a car. I had a car does not mean I had it for breakfast in morning. I owned it, right? So I must have said this in this context. Here it would be incorrect to say I've had a car in 2012. All right. Okay. I think it must have been for having. Yes. When I say I am having a car, you can't say I am having a car. That is wrong. In every context, it is wrong. Okay. Just like you can't say I am having an experience of 4 years. In every context, that is wrong. Right? This yes clearly gives this impression as if a car is a good time to be enjoyed or a car is something to be eaten. Okay, so I might have said this in this context. All right. Okay, okay. Just a second, just a second. What if I choose? Acha, okay, this I have clarified. Since 1990, yes. In the place of since, can we use till 1990? I have had an ambassador. I had an ambassador till 1990. No, no. We have to give either the duration, so use for, or use since. We can't use till there, right? You can simply say, I had it till 1990, then I sold it. This is fine. I had it till 1990, that would be incorrect. Okay. All right. No, Bharat. That's what I'm saying. Chalo. Let's move to the third one. Let's move to the third one. I'm telling you the sentence for the third one. A very short sentence actually, so you'll not even forget it. May grief be avoided? Is it a possibility that, grief can be avoided? Dash it to be. Dash it to be. It here refers to grief. Dash it to be. Right. May grief be avoided. Dash it to be. So what should come here? Last question for the day. Come on. I want enthusiastic participation from all of you. May grief be avoided. Dash it to be. Is there any sense in which, as Charlie Brown's favorite phrase had it, there is good grief? Here, this person does not mean it in the sense of surprise. Okay, here this person means it grief which is good. Okay, this person does not mean it in the sense of surprise. B, C, D. Okay. Good grief is an expression of surprise, but here in our paragraph, it does not mean that. It means grief that is good. Okay. Also, your homework. In case you want, you wish, you can watch this short video called Charlie Brown's Christmas. It's very touching. It's about a child whose name is Charlie Brown, his idea of Christmas. Right. Okay, so B, C, D, all right. B, C, D. But primarily B and C. This is the correct answer. First of all, this two here. Okay. See, if I phrase it as a normal sentence, it dash to be avoided. This would be the normal affirmative sentence. It dash to be avoided. Can you say it must to be avoided? After must we don't write to. It should to be avoided. After should we don't write to. So it can either be B or D. Right? Of course, none of the above is there, but one of them fits. So it ought to be avoided. Ought. This is a duty or obligation, whereas this shows necessity. What I'm trying to say here is that should we really avoid it? And when should carries a moral obligation, we use the modal verb ought. So here, what you're trying to weigh is whether you should do something or you should not do something. Okay, and when there is a moral or obligatory factor added to it, we use the modal verb ought. So ought it to be avoided. Need it to be means that is it a necessity to avoid it? That's not the question. The question is whether we should ideally avoid it or not. Right? Hence, B is the answer. Yes, it's a modal auxiliary verb. Absolutely correct. So, this was your cloze test based on grammar. I hope now you are clear with the concept of have had, right? And I hope you enjoyed the session. If yes, please press the like button. And yes, this is our comprehensive CAT and non-CAT program. And this is what we offer in it. You can follow our counselors for more information. We can stay connected via Telegram, and you can join our handles, social media handles, for various updates. Must means that yes, you have to do something, right? It's something that's again, there is an element of compulsion there, right? I must do this. Urgency and compulsion both are there, right? Whereas when I use, what else did you say? Just a second. Must, should. Should is more of what is right, what is wrong. Okay, must expresses a necessity. Karna padega, right? Compulsion hai. Should is obligation, right? All right, all right. Great, great. Thank you for attending. You're always welcome. Ought is not about probability. No, ought is about moral obligations. Yes? Welcome, welcome all of you. Bye.